is Rowena Dooley asking Skull citizens to report for duty. Rowena Dooley asking Soul citizens to report for duty.
Greetings and welcome to another episode of Soul Citizen. Today's episode is 157 and it's called Invictus 2953, our review. But before we get into that, let me introduce our co-host. You're missing one right at the moment, but yeah, he'll be back soon. There he is. You're late. Where you been?
I had to literally run outside before my dogs ate my cell phone.
I'm messing with you. So let's start with you right then. So Kalrati, tell everybody who you are.
Woo. All right. Hello, everybody. Good night, good morning, good afternoon. Hello. I'm Kalrati. I'm Kalrati. I said that before. And yeah, I'm from Soul Citizens. You can catch me on Spectrum. You can catch me in game doing a whole bunch of, I'm currently doing criminal things. So I've seen a bunch of you come after me. So, hey, keep coming. I'm still not in prison yet.
and you're big on testing the game, Evacati and all that. Yeah. All right. Well, on my screen, I'm gonna go in the order I see on my screen. But Abdi, there you go. Abdi, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Hi, my name is AbdiYohan. My real name's AbdiWalk. You can call me AbdiYohan though, and I'm a streamer and illustrator. I play Star Citizen and illustrate on stream at the same time on Sundays after the Soul Citizen show. So if you ever want to catch me, you can find me there. And yeah, I just love being here. Happy to be here, and it's a great Sunday. Happy to be here.
Cool. And Kelosal?
Hey, welcome guys. I'm your friendly guy, Kelosal, aka number one Sith, and I love MISC. So it's just good to be back. Summer school is here now, so we're finally out in the state of Florida, or at least in Tampa, at least in Hillsborough County. So I can finally come back on the show and do some things. So good to be back.
Kelosal, do you like MISC because it rhymes with Sith?
I even know I could even entertain that right now, but you know.
And I see him on the screen. This is a surprise to me almost. But Griffin, how are you doing?
How's everybody? Good to see everybody. Another Sunday. Happy to be back.
All right, cool. And I'm fastcart FC. Yeah, I do a lot of everything. Not really, but yeah, I let's go with that.
Sings too.
Yes. So we're going to get into this show. I thought we had a video.
Yeah, we do. And I think I just neglected to run it. That was on me.
Okay, you want to run it now?
Yeah, I can. I don't know why I didn't put a button up for it, but that's why I didn't hit it, because there was no button on my Stream Deck. So let me go ahead and run it, and then we can come back. Hang on a second. Let me.
Thanks for the subscription, Trakazog.
Yeah.
Thank you for the subscription package.
Thanks. Here we go.
In a galaxy so vast, can one person make an impact? How do we rise above? Through camaraderie and competition, we coalesce. In our darkest hours, when all seems hopelessly lost. And in our proudest moments, we find in each other strength, hope, solidarity, the courage to leave the familiar behind in pursuit of the next great adventure. One person can make an impact, but together, we are capable of greatness. Each of us, part of something bigger. One galaxy. One empire. United in purpose.
Lovely video, different from what we usually see. Anyone want to take a comment about it? Make a comment about it?
Buzzkill. Yeah, I'd love to be the buzzkill.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
As an artist, it doesn't make sense to me that that guy was using a spray paint bottle and you were seeing painterly strokes instead of like actual spray paint. So I'm just saying it could be mixed media, but I wasn't feeling the mixed media from what I was seeing. Just saying. But it was cool. It was cool. It was cool.
Only an artist would notice something like that. That went over my head. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
It makes sense now that you said it.
So I had two things actually. So one, I noticed that they were using the Squadron 42 trailer music. So that was pretty cool. Secondly, it's not necessarily a buzzkill, but the trailer, it didn't hype me up as much as the previous one. I don't know like why. Maybe it's because I didn't see the Bengal
That
as
previous one was
dramatic.
dope, though, with the big ships coming in and stuff like that, and like the Vanguard coming in on the side of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So not to take too much. And not to take too much, off or away from the effort that they put into it. But I was just maybe it was like a different angle that they were shooting for, and maybe that's something I didn't understand. So, but all in all, I really liked that. They still put on this really cool presentation.
You mentioned the Squadron 42 music. I think because this is Invictus, so it celebrates the military, and Squadron 42 is mostly military based, so that makes sense to me.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't pick up on that, so that's really cool.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here all week. So we're going to talk about next is what is Invictus. And Kelosal, you want to talk, read what Invictus is, please?
Sure. What is Invictus? Invictus marks the beginning of the new year for the UEE Navy recruits and celebrates graduation of the latest crew members and officers. The event's origin date back to 2541 in the First Tavaran War, when the United Planets of Earth, the UEE's predecessor, would send transport ships to collect new recruits for basic training. The locals would gather to celebrate those leaving to defend humanity and marvel at the impressive military ships docked at port. Today, Invictus Launch Week is celebrated in most UEE systems with high-flying public demonstrations from the naval fleet. As an added attraction, the galaxy's top ship builders showcase the vehicles they supply to the military and make their civilian counterparts available to rent and purchase. All hail to UEE.
That last part was not in the thing, but yeah, thank you for that, Kelosal.
You're welcome.
I'm in opposite agreement to that.
So Invictus, I mean, this started like 3 years ago in 2020. That was the first year, if my memory is served. So yeah, what do people think about the lore and how we celebrate Invictus? So
I'm looking forward to at least it's really cool to to read about the history and those things. But the good thing about Invictus is that it is another catalyst or another point that I think the narrative team and the game designers can use to kind of craft historical missions. So, for example, even though it would have happened, or rather, the events that it tells about or talks about that would have happened years ago. I'm looking forward to missions that kind of craft, or missions that are crafted based on the history behind it. So it could be, some remnants of some kind of location, and we have to go there and kind of learn about and get some artifacts or so on. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And that is the reason why I'm glad such a thing actually came on board. Apart from, of course, raising funds and those things. But that's what I'm looking forward to. The history of what led to Invictus leaking into the current gaming atmosphere.
Cool.
Yeah, I like that it can be kind of a meta event. You have people like Paul Shelley running like tours and stuff like that, which is really interesting, to have in-game Invictus show floor tours where he's talking about the history of each of the ships that are there for each day and stuff like that. Sorry, Paul Shelley is from the Astropup. So I really appreciate that kind of like people getting into the role play aspect of it. And then just realizing that this game, people rag on it for, the way that they have to acquire money to fund the game. But if you look at, the 10-year spread of the game and stuff like that, in terms of generating income, like, Robert Space Industries needs ways of funding the game. Otherwise, how are you going to pay all the people to make it? So the fact that they're able to put on things like this, I don't think is a bad idea, because I'd rather have this than a monthly subscription that you have to have in order to get it.
Yeah, man.
So like, honestly, I don't fault them for having, money making events like this where, they do well. I think they did all right. I'm sure maybe you'll get into the financials of it, or
maybe later. I haven't planned on it, but maybe later. But yeah, they're not doing well on last year so far, but just still a few days left.
Right.
And you beat me to the punch, because I was going to say, and it's a way for CIG to make money. So yeah, that's basically what I was going to say.
Right.
No problem. All right.
It's all about money, honey. It's all about money, honey. I mean, to elaborate on what Kalrati is saying, I'm a huge lore guy, so it would be great in the next several years that they go ahead and implement some of the lore things in. I mean, Invictus, if you talk about some of the lore starting off, 2542 was the first Invictus, takes place on Tavarans were first encountered in 2541 with the first Tavaran War. And then it goes down 2579, Invictus base officially closes. And then it goes at 2581 when Imperator Ivar Messer officially formalizes Invictus as a government-recognized yearly event. And it continues all the way down to 2912, where another Invictus ceremony, this one on Terra. Hello, Terra. So I can't wait till Terra comes up. And finally, we get to move Invictus over where it's supposed to be over, and that appears as the backdrop for a set piece of astromedics from the fire. So these are other things. There's things about 2875, about things, celebration of the synth world as well. So these are all lore that's already out there that we could read. And it would be great, to pick up where Kalrati left off, that they can implement some of these things, even as historical references. Maybe you could jump into that little sphere that we used to jump into several years ago when we first jumped on Art Court, a little circle that you jumped into, and it was like some type of demo type thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. Maybe we could do that again and take us back to one of these types of points in time where we can go and actually achieve some type of achievement based off of that. It'd be great.
Well,
Every
that's
commander.
for theaters of war. Yeah, that's theaters of war is specifically to play out role play battles from the past. So I think I mean, depending on how far back you go, because I mean, some ships weren't available back then, I guess, if you want to be historically accurate or whatever. But if it is just like a sim, you're in a sim pod and play, role play this whatever thing, I guess they could make it work that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think theaters of war could be a really great way of actually like reliving some of the battles from the past.
I will say one more thing in addition to you guys criticizing the art play. Maybe if they would have had it at Lorville 2.0, things would be fantastic.
I actually think that
I wasn't talking about the quality of the art. I'm just saying that the art style didn't. I mean, it was mixed media, but all we saw was a spray paint can when I was.
He's just pulling your chain.
Saying, the
chain.
Hurstons would not have allowed that dude to paint any types of walls or any types of deals.
That's true. He would have got beat down.
What was that, Griffin?
No, I said he was just pulling our chain. I had to make sure Abdi understood what the Kelosal was going. He's just mad because we haven't gone to Lorville, Abdi. He didn't care less about the art stuff. He's just mad because we weren't in Lorville.
I mean, but you brought up Lorville, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's on 2954 Invictus was at Lorville 2.0 next year.
Yeah, but he didn't care about next year. He wanted to show it off this year because they did the update. That's why he's barking about it.
Explain to me, CIG, why did that not happen?
Hey, they got clouds on our corp.
That's just my beef. You brought in Lorville 2.0, right? You brought in Lorville 2.0. Fantastic place to go ahead and have Invictus or even
too brand new. It's too brand new. You gotta work out the kinks to make everything, make sure no one falls through the geometry on the floor and stuff like that.
What a perfect time to work out those kinks, right? So go ahead.
No, not for free fly. Not for free fly. Have people logging in and never coming back.
Yeah, you got that tutorial too, man.
Kalrati, am I the only person that's not getting the Colossals just pulling our chain and they keep trying to have a serious conversation with him about this?
It's right in the waves. That's right in the waves.
My apologies to the Hearst.
All right, so let's get to the next topic. So, how to get to Invictus launch week celebration? Getting to Invictus launch week. Abdi, you want to read that one, please?
Is that me? Yep. Okay.
Yep.
How to get to Invictus Launch Week celebration and getting to Invictus Launch Week. This year's celebration is held at the Bevic Convention Center in the area or in the city of Area 18 ArcCorp. Different vehicle manufacturers take over the expo halls throughout the event, and nearly everything on display is available to fly or drive for free. If you are first logging in, set your spawn to Area 18. Otherwise, quantum travel from your location to Area 18 on ArcCorp and land at Riker Memorial Spaceport. Once out of your hab on Area 18, or if you quantum traveled and now have landed at Riker Memorial Spaceport, follow the plethora of blue Invictus branded signs leading you to the shuttle stop. Hop on the shuttle, and it will take you to the Bevic Convention Center, where Invictus Launch Week awaits.
Thank you for that. I just want to say, Kalrati, do you have enough snack for the rest of the class?
No, it's all mine, brother. It's all mine.
All right, so how to get to Invictus launch week? I remember a few years ago, well, almost every year, for me at least, you always follow those signs, exactly, those signs that they put up. And even then, sometimes it's not quite enough, because sometimes you can still get that turned around, at least for me. So I really appreciate they put out a video this weekend, this year, for how to get around Invictus. So yeah, what do people think? It helped, or they should have done it a long time ago? What do people think?
I think it's notable that they did it. That's why I highlighted it, because they don't normally put this much detail in it. What's happening is you're getting new players and people as the game is expanding. But the game is getting big. You know, if you come into the game now, I mean, we thought a couple of years ago the game was complicated, but if you're coming in new now, trying to navigate around, to point Colossal's point, Hurston, New Babbage, Orison, ArcCorp, and then all of a sudden they tell you the Bevic Convention Center. You're like, I never even heard of that. I've been playing this game for a year. Where is that at? So I think that, putting this level of detail now is important, especially with them adding the new player experience as well.
Right.
They're seeing that it's necessary now that there's got to be a little bit of introduction and hand holding for people who are coming into the game for the first time.
Right.
And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I haven't been back to Art Corp except to pick up some modules for some ships once in a while. But mostly I haven't been back there since the social module was retired and PU came in. Because I've been like, yeah, I'm not an Art Corp.
2018 is where I started retiring.
Wait a minute. Let him. Ask him why he hasn't been there. That's what you need to ask him.
Why haven't you?
Because he doesn't play the game. He doesn't play the game.
I live in New Babbage.
He doesn't play the game. He's based out of New Babbage. He doesn't play the game. That's why he hasn't been
also,
there.
But New Babbage. I prefer New Babbage.
The moment they said that the banning merchantmen, they still require more
Thank
resources.
you.
Like, yeah, I ain't playing any more until the next 2 years this time now.
Peace. I'm out.
No, that's not the reason. Trying not to burn myself out. But yeah, so no, but the real reason is New Babbage is my home. I heard he leave there. So yeah. But yeah. Any other thoughts about getting to Invictus? I mean, we had to bring up that the DrakeCon is a different place from the Bevic Center. DrakeCon was in Riker Memorial Spaceport. Yeah, Riker Memorial Spaceport. And I went there yesterday, and there was like no signs. Oh, that's not true. There were some signs, but you were still following the blue signs to get to Invictus. And by the time you turn around to go back and say, "Oh, there's a sign for red versus blue." So I still got turned around, but I got there eventually. How about anyone else?
A video on Twitter. I'm not to say that you should have seen that. I mean, like, not everyone's on Twitter, so it really isn't a great way of communicating that idea. But I think they.
Yeah, because I saw the Art video because it was on the YouTube channel. So yeah.
Yeah. So they put out a video on Twitter, and I don't know if it was linked to the email that they sent as well for Drake Defense Con, but I appreciated that video at least, just because I was like, oh, yep, all right.
Well, I just love Drake. Drake continues to be the bad boy, thumbs up type, corporation.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that.
Corporation.
Yeah, we'll get into that more in a bit. But yeah, so that's about getting to Invictus launch week. So up next we have get your discounted starter pack. These limited time packs include your Star Citizen game download, no Squadron 42, starter ship, a bonus ship white paint, and a special tenure insurance. Now available now until June 1st. So, anyone pick up any starter packs for like future people that your friends or all your friends are sick of you talking about Star Citizen and not worried about it?
Yeah, all my friends are sick of me talking about Star Citizen.
One thing I'm glad for, though,
we
is that
bought packages in 2015, and they're still like, "Hey, is it live yet?" And I'm like,
"Nope."
It actually happened to me with two persons who are waiting on the game in both 2015 and 2016. So like, but I am glad.
What was that, Kalrati?
Oh, I was just gonna say that I am glad that they actually gave everybody, I think, a Titan in game. I'm not sure. I saw that some persons didn't get it, but it was cool to see. So it was a nice thing.
And also, yeah, they mentioned you get a starter paint, but you get a free jacket too, right? Or that's just with the links, right?
Yeah.
One of them, but yeah, one of them you get a free jacket in the game.
Yeah.
So that's starter pack. So that's my bad. So yeah, that is.
I 42 wasn't in these starter packs. I don't think those have been in the starter pack since 2020,
2019. Ever since the divorce, some of us call it, because they when they split the Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, because people who may not know, a long time ago used to buy them both together. It was permanent. Mm-hmm. You can get both for $45. It's a great deal. You get 2 AAA games for $45. Then they split them and added a add-on for Squadron 42 for like $20 and then $25. So, and then who knows. We can guess how much Squadron 42 will be when it come back here, but I guess that's a different show. But yeah.
Yeah, it's for Thursday show. Tune in.
All right. So up next we have going to talk about Myst. So this is the first day of or first 2 days of Invictus launch week, May 19th to the 20th. So they focused on the freelancer Myst, Razor EX, Reliant China, and the Gemini. So if you had to pick one, which one do you think was the best in the show for those 2 days?
Been there, done that, so that didn't get that.
I guess I should read all of them for that would miss specifically. Kalrati, do you have Mariah?
Yeah, I got Mariah.
Can you read that for me, please?
Or do you want me to have Mariah up, or do you want me to have Carrie up? Anyway,
the Fury, yeah.
Right, so for the Fury, next gen skirmisher. Shatter the limits of performance with the next generation stump chassis from Mirai. 4 size 2 laser repeaters optimized for absolute precision and control make the Fury a revelation in short range space combat.
If it's okay, fastcart, can we take care of Misk first? Because Mirai is actually standing as a separate.
I messed up because I thought you wanted to pick one for each day. You meant each manufacturer, so that's my bad. So yeah, let's go back to Mist.
Okay.
My bad. So Freelance and Mist, Razor X, and Valentina and stuff for Dynamite. So yeah. I think for that I have the Razor EX. That would be my pick. How about everybody else for the best in show for Mist?
I go to EX too, mainly because I'm more so recently into racing from time to time. So even though the EX is the combat version though, right?
I believe so, yeah. They're all kind of racers, but the EX has stealth, quote unquote.
Right. Okay. I'll still go with the EX.
I like the Tana. I feel like the aesthetics of the Reliant is something that continually excites me whenever I see it.
Is it the Reliant still broken, or did I misread that somehow?
Well, I blew it. Not this week, but in 318, I think.
The Tana has a bed, right?
Huh?
The Tana has a bed, right?
That's
the Tana has a bed. Yep. The Tana has a bed. Fighter.
The last thing that I was wondering about it, Abdi, if you can tell me or tell us, when you bedlog, does it still spawn vertically?
I never bedlog in it.
Okay. Because I remember that was one of the kickbacks.
It was an issue, but I don't bedlog in that one.
Yeah, Bonsai says bedlogging is broken in the Reliant series right now.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, in a Reliant, I'm not taking it out to do something where I'm hanging out in space for very long anyway. Usually, I'm using it to go from here to there, but it just also using it for screenshots because it's just pretty.
Gotcha. Yeah, the reason why I said the line is broken, because I remember from the loaning matrix, it says known issues, Reliant Core, due to a number of issues with the Mist Reliant family, these ships are temporarily loaning a Nomad. So everyone who has a Reliant ship, you also get a Nomad because of the budget issues with the Reliant. So that's why I asked. Okay. All right. Who do we miss for best in show for Mist?
Me and Kelosal.
Kelosal.
Yeah, that's why I said been there, done that, sold that, and didn't get that. Because in that,
that's true. Yeah, you did say that.
So I would say, good God, if I was going to do best in show for Misk, it would probably be the Starfarer Gemini.
Why?
I mean, Pyro's coming out soon.
Say Kelosal, where I was going. That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm with him on that. That was my
obvious. Yep. So yeah, that's. Griff, you can go ahead and take it.
No, that was it. If anybody's looking for something to get, that's something to look forward to. It was definitely the Starfarer because of Pyro. We're on the same page.
I'm glad you guys said that, so that means there's another few targets that are big enough for me to hit. So I'm going.
That's fine. When you when you find the time and find me inside Pyro, I'll give you $1 million.
No, AUC. Don't say dollars. AUC. Yeah, you got to be specific about that because Kalrati. You said dollars, man. You said dollars. I have it on clip. No, so yeah, I already said the Razor EX. It's a racer. I have an LX instead of EX, but this one has this stuff. I just love the line, and I think that the Razor EX is kind of a controversial now because technically it's Mirai, right?
Yeah, it's shifting manufacturers. Yeah, it's shifting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. All right. So that is the Mist line. So now Kalrati, Mirai, please.
Okay. So, for the Mirai Fury Next Gen Skirmisher, shatter the limits of performance with the next generation snub chassis from Mirai. 4 size 2 laser repeaters, optimized for absolute precision and control. Make the Fury a revelation in short range space combat. So do it for the MX also.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
All right. So for the Fury MX, Precision Striker, shatter the limits of performance with the next generation snub chassis from Mirai and devastate targets with 20 Halo mounted missiles, then fade away to recoup and rearm.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So yeah,
That's
between
again.
those two, which one is the best?
The best.
Colossal.
You can't compare. I mean, one is a missile ship, and the other one.
Which one is your preference?
I mean, none of them. I mean,
Yeah, well, let's do this because we really weren't on that one. We don't have to do the pick thing. We did that on the next one.
Okay.
On this one, let's talk about the introduction of this as a new ship and our thoughts on that. Let's talk about that.
I'll start off there. I am glad that Myst decides to go ahead and bring in another subdivision of Myst and with Mirai. I was waiting on that. We know what the background of Myst is. If you don't know what the background of Myst is mostly science driven using Xi'an technology. And we know that Myst has, in terms of its armor, in terms of its weaponry, the weaponry is usually little, but in terms of its armor, this armor is really, really thick, really, really difficult to get into. But we only see the scientific side. We see the Endeavor, we see the Starfarers, we see the Freelancer series, and we see the Reliant series and things like that, along with the Razors. But now we're getting to a different part. Now we're getting to racing and we're getting to combat. And it's nice to see Myst pushing that along with Xi'an technology. So I was really, really happy to see this. 2 snub fighters with no quantum drives, one with size 4 lasers, the other one with just missiles. So it all depends on what you want to do with that. You're right. It all depends on what you want, what your preference is. But it's a win-win for Myst with Mirai.
Yeah, for me, I mean, if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the MX for the missiles. But I mean, I also got that the cover for the front, and it's really cool. You go inside, you can bring it up and still see the outside, but it gives you some protection. But it's still mostly a glass cannon, and so
I love it.
Right. So I mean, I've already made a joke. It's like the glass in the Furious. So. Thank you, Abdi. Thank you. I'm here always. Thank you, Abdi. You encouraged me. Appreciate it. Everyone, if you want to blame anyone for my bad joke.
I'm still waiting on that check.
All right, Kalrati. All right. No, but yeah. So yeah, I'll pick the MX. But like I said, you don't have to pick them. But yeah, I thought it was a really good introduction for Mirai. Definitely different. It doesn't look Myst-like to me. I guess that's another reason why it's a different manufacturer. But yeah. And anyone else have any comments about the Fury line?
I would say.
Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So I would say that overall, I'm glad that these snub fighters are available now. Specifically because it's not something that I've done, recently. But that's using a snub fighter to get in and get out of any kind of mission area. And even though we have the Connie, and of course the Connie is currently bugged with the with its docking sequences with Merlin.
That's not true for everyone.
Not true for everyone, right?
Not true for everyone. It works. It works for a lot of people. It works for me.
Okay, well that's good. Well, so what I wanted to say is, for a smaller ship, I'm glad that it exists for a smaller ship in terms of I could actually use a Cuddy Black. Even though you have to take your time to fit the Fury into it, it still works. And having Cuddy Black and it has a functioning bed, actually, I enjoyed. Just getting out into the Fury and doing any kind of mission that I wanted to do, or even scout. I actually used it for Ghost Hollow. When I kind of infiltrated, I was really quiet about it. I even killed a guy, and they still don't know who it was. And yeah, it was actually pretty fun because it was low sig, and I was able to go back to my previous ship because of course there's the vector, so you'll know where your previous ship was. So it's actually really reliable. So I'm glad that they actually introduced these sizes of ships so that it's easy to actually fit into smaller ships that have beds without having to spend too much money, either in real or in game, to afford something like a Connie or so.
Kalrati, I just gotta make a suggestion for you. WD-40, you use that, you'll slide right into Cuddy.
I'll remember that.
I think this is a great ship. I think a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people criticize it for being like not having a quantum drive, and I'm like, why? Like, it doesn't need it. It's a snub. And I think
that's the definition of a stop, right?
Exactly. Just like something that, and I think it's perfect when I'm, I don't have an Odyssey anymore. But if I had an Odyssey, I think the perfect combination for an Odyssey would be having a Prospector on board and then having like a couple of these Mirai Furies on board as well. So that if you needed protection while you're out in deep space, you have it all with you, like you have your additional fighters. They're compact, they're small, but they can still pack a punch. And I think that's great.
The only problem with that situation is that I'm not sure that the Odyssey would be able to refuel the Furies. Because the Odyssey can only refuel itself.
If it's coming out at like in the future, then you can always like, the idea is that you'd be able to refuel manually. So whatever, like, honestly not a big deal. And if it's sticking close to the snub, if it's sticking to the actual mothership or whatever you want to call it,
mothership, yeah,
I really wouldn't be worried about it, because it's a very similar thing to what you'd have to do with a Archimedes or a Merlin.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, go ahead, Griff.
No, you go ahead, Kelosal.
No, I mean, selfishly, I don't even know if this is selfishly, because this is still within lore. I would push CIG to improve the glass cannon theory for the Mirai, and probably make its hull armor a little bit more, a little bit stronger than even the Gladius, because I'm just going by Misk's performance when it comes to their armor tech. And I know this is a snub ship, but it'll go a long way for that armor to be a little bit better than the Gladius to last a little bit longer out there.
Yeah, what I was going to say, Agent touched on what I was going to say. You can refuel ships in the hangar of an Odyssey. So refueling is not an issue for this particular ship. What I was going to say about it, though, is that I think it's interesting to see that, first of all, this is one of those ships. Every once in a while, CIG drops something on us that we didn't expect. This is definitely one of them. I would have never thought of them going to a snub category, as well as creating a new manufacturer, or subdivision of a manufacturer. I wasn't expecting either of those. To Kolosal's point, and some of you guys know, the CIG has already talked about that they're going to do some changes to this ship already. A lot of people, like you said, were a little weird about it. They are going to impact the fuel consumption in the ship. They're going to increase that a little bit better so the ship doesn't burn fuel as quickly. But secondly, I think there's also, what is the ship designed for? And I know we always try to encourage people when they buy things in this game, first of all, support the project, but secondly, buy things based upon what they're going to be, not what they are right now. And so Klaus and I had this conversation about CIG tapping into the whole Star Wars psyche of folks, when they came out when they came out with the Antares and the that ship, the RSI ship, and that was the X-Wing. And here was a reflection. You could see influences from something like a TIE fighter. But also look at what those ships can do in their roles. X-Wings can jump. They can do hyper jumps. The Antares and the other ship, they can do the same thing. As to the TIE fighters cannot do that. And this ship can't do it. These ships are designed to be within a mothership to be carried. So I think that this introduces another level of gameplay. Some people even ask, why are they selling the baker's dozen, right? They had the 12 ships that they were selling for $500. Who's going to buy that? There are some people, I guarantee you, who have a large ship, whatever that ship may be, that has a hangar, that they will drop $5 to have 12 of these on their ship ready to go. So that when their friends come into the game, instead of waiting for them to get their ship, get in their hangar and fly to them, like on a Kraken, all their people have to do is spawn in on that ship, be on it, and they've got the ships already there to go. And I agree with you, Kelosal. I think that they are going to tighten the ship and tweak it more, introduce the Xi'an mist side of it with armor and protection. And I think it's nice that they made two distinctive ships. That missile boat is designed to go in and do the job of a bomber squadron, get in, get out. The smaller ships are going to be similar to the Buccaneer. They're going to be a pain in the butt because they're so small and agile. And if you've flown this ship, it's reminiscent of when you fly the Cartual. Very maneuverable, very fast, but hard to hit. With a good pilot behind it, very hard to hit. So,
But if you hit it,
yeah, but that's now. But wait. But remember what I said earlier? The ship now versus later. Armor's not in the game right now. You know, I went out with Ops Chief and let him fire on me with this thing, and he was able to hit me about eight times before the shields completely disappeared, sitting static, right? But if you've got a good pilot who knows their ship, they know how to maneuver this ship, you're going to have a lot of problems with them later on. If you've got 8 of these or 6 of these on you, yeah, it's going to be a whole different game. You know, when people start teaming up with these things, it's not designed to go out there and be a solo fighter, guys. Let's call it for what it is. It's not what it's for. It's designed for you to get 3 or 4 of your friends out there. Yeah, but no. See, let's talk about what the ship is for. It's not a racer. Yeah, you can race with it, but it's not a racer. The fuel consumption in this thing would not allow you to be a racer. It is designed to go out as a group to harass somebody and stay on them and give them a hard time. That's what the ship is for.
Can I take 2 more seconds to say something about this?
Yes.
So Citizen Kate, a really, really amazing YouTuber, released a video where it was a Corsair versus a Constellation Andromeda head-to-head fight, just to see when the Corsair came out, just to see what its capabilities were. All this will change, you know, disclaimer aside. When it was the Corsair versus the Andromeda, Corsair wiped the Andromeda's butt, just like completely kicked it. But then she did another video where the Connie was allowed to have the snub fighter out. That Corsair couldn't, its shields were never able to recharge because that little annoying mosquito was always hovering around, keeping it down. So I'm just saying, like, I feel like we underestimate the power of snub fighters, but I think especially if you're out in deep space, you're not able to call your friends up to get to you quickly, and you have like a crew with you on board. I think I'd be more happy to have like a big, you know, mining operation that has, you know, a couple of these things on there and ready to go.
And I'm surprised that Griffin said that it takes like 8 hits. I mean, they called it a gas cannon because the TIE Fighter and Star Wars is also a gas cannon compared to the X-Wing. So that's another resemblance between the two. But 8 hits.
Watch yourself.
What did he say?
I said, watch yourself.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, don't start talking about the Empire. Oh, God.
I mean, that's one engine down. That's it.
Yeah.
Now that's interesting. That's an interesting piece on this. And by the way, you guys saw when they did the review on this, when CIG did it, they talked about developing the aerolons on here for atmospheric flight. That's another thing I'm curious to see how this thing handles in atmosphere once they get that going.
All right, and just to go ahead and just, you know, embellish and just, you know, throw in some things here. You know, Kavian said, you know, he's right. He said CIG said something one year, then changed their mind the next year. You're right, because Jared did say the only thing that's constant is change. I mean, so, you know, just always remind yourselves, guys, it's not going to be the same. Everything that's in here now is in for tweaking. It's going to change all the time. So don't get your expectations too high, but enjoy helping test the game so they can make it better for us in the future.
Good point.
So before we move on to Crusader, I just want to say they had talked about it on SCL on Friday too, and talk about different variants that they may make. I'm looking forward to the cargo variant, the Mariah Carey. Anyway, for Crusader,
you said that joke 3 times this week. That's it. 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't need. This is the last day I need to say it anyway. So this is Invictus. After Thursday, after on June 1st, it's over, so I'm good. And yeah, too late there, KV. Oh, you can joke. Oh, thank you, KV.
Oh no!
One job,
yeah,
KV.
All right, so Crusader, you had the
thank you, Bonsai.
Ion. It was Inferno, the Mercury, the A2 Hercules, C2 Mercules, and the M2 Hercules. So between those 6, which one do you think is the best in the show? Let's go with Kalrati.
No, I was just gonna pull Gomabs. I don't know if he's here or not, but I was gonna say the
no, Kalrati, don't do it.
But in the defense of the Ion, I've always been thinking about how it can be redeemed, and given its single shot or its initially single shot nature, and how we were talking about the Fury MX. Given that even in last week's SCL, you were talking about physicalized components, I think, or physicalized damage. I can see these kinds of ships, including the Ion, being precision strikers. And they may not be able to, take out a capital ship, but you see taking out a component, especially a vital point in a ship, I can see that happening. Maybe we can have different weapon systems come online later on to, kind of make it more in line with a capital ship disabler instead of a capital ship killer. But that single precision weapon point, I think in the future it'll be pretty formidable in terms of disabling a capital ship once physicalized components come online. So that's why I say it.
Thank you. Kelosal?
I'm still sticking with my Pyro move. I'm going with the Hercules series, but if I had to choose one, it'll be the C2.
Okay.
Sticking with the Pyro thing. The Pyro thing.
Oh, Pyro thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good on gas. You can carry a lot of people. You can carry storage. And then, of course, you can go ahead and put whatever types of little snuff fighters you want on there. I'm sticking with the C2 on that.
Griffin?
Boy.
Yeah, this is a to me too.
Yeah.
You had time to think about it, man. No, I'm messing
Well,
with you.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit and just go with the Hercules series.
That's what Kelosal
I mean,
wanted to do,
just the series of ships themselves. I mean, the Mercury, is a favorite of a lot of folks, and a lot of people treat that as their daily driver. The Ion and Inferno, I agree with Kalrati. He's already hit on the points of why I would agree with it. So I'm going to go Hercules just because of the variety of ships there, and again because of going into Pyro. People are going to want to be able to move vehicles around and even some ships around. And those ships do give you a little bit. If you can't get to the point of a Liberator or a Kraken, you can move some things around on those ships. And so I'm going to go with those for now.
Y'all see that picture of the Furies in the A2 or C2? I don't remember what it was. There was
How many were there?
Yeah.
12 Furies in that thing. It was crazy.
Only 12?
I can't remember how many. I can't remember how many.
I don't know either. I thought it'd be more closer to 18, but 12, but that's quite a bit too. So
it was a great screenshot too, because it had like good lighting on it, so it looked really menacing, like they're about to go out and do some damage. Anyway, sorry.
The only problem with that is that they have to come out like 2 or 3 at a time, and so if anyone messes up,
you need 12 competent pilots, exactly.
Yeah, basically.
Like, match velocity. I'm just kidding.
Right.
So if I'm going with mine, I think I would have said the Hercules series, but I don't want 3 strikes and you're out. So so I'm gonna go with the Ares Inferno, just because my friend has been running that for bounties, and I'm
Inferno.
out there
Okay.
and he brings out his Inferno, and man, every time he lobs, I think those things come with stalkers or like can have the ability to send out size 5 missiles, and like I don't know. I
don't know about size 5 on the Ares.
Size 5s.
It has a size 5 cannon. I mean, not cannon, but
no, they
the gun.
The Inferno can launch missiles. I can't
you can.
the size of those, yeah. But I don't know. Just the fact that thing had missiles in addition to being like having just a ton of that ballistic damage. It makes it a fun fighter to actually. It's not even really a fighter, but it makes it fun to fly with. Because I'm out there in my Harvey and only have my 3 stalkers and plethora of other missiles, and I'm like, come on, man, let's get some more missiles on here, bro.
Well, until they unearth the Ion, I would pick the Ion, but since it's still nerfed, I'm going to pick the MSR, the Mercury. Like I said, it's a daily driver for me. It's quick, it's fast, has a lot of fuel. It's good to places pretty quickly. So yeah, the MSR, and it had a pretty good cargo. I just wish that it had a side door. It needed a side door.
Yeah, Abdi is correct with the missiles. 4 size 5 missiles.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, so I got my 3 stalkers on there. He's got his 4 size 5 missiles on there. I'm just saying, man.
Damn.
It's Harvey Love. Come on.
So yeah, the Mercury for me. All right. So up next we have.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I see it says
No,
three.
it's five.
Three.
It's five. It's a size. It's a 5 rack size, but the
Rack
missiles are
size
3.
5.
But the missile
Yeah.
sizes are 3.
There
But
you
even
go,
so,
there you go.
size 3s
I
is
was gonna
still.
say, size 5 sounds big.
Yeah, size 5s would be in the Harbinger. Those are pretty big
Yeah.
missiles. But size 3s, but still, like you said, with missiles and guns, it's pretty serious.
Yeah, thanks for the
But
correction.
like a size 5, that's like our A2 almost, right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. All right. So we have the next day. That is May 21st to the 22nd. And this is all one manufacturer, Aegis Dynamic. We have the Avenger Stalker, the Avenger Titan, the Avenger Renegade, the Avenger Warlock, Eclipse, Gladius, Valiant, Hammerhead, Redeemer, Retaliated Bomber, Saber, Saber Comet, Vanguard, Harbinger, Vanguard Sentinel, Vanguard Hoplite, and Vanguard Warriors. So between all those, you get to pick 2 for the best in the show. So let's start with Griffin for this one.
My OCD is bothering me right now. I got to correct my spelling. Hold on. Jeez.
Okay,
Drives me
let's go with
crazy.
Audie then.
Okay, so I had to mix up my fleet a little bit, and for the longest time wasn't able to put the Harbinger back in there, so I was flying without a Harbinger. But Aegis Day came around, and I was able to restore my fleet, get that Harbinger back where it belonged, and it felt really good. So I'm going with the Vanguard Harbinger.
Cool.
You get to pick 2. You
You're
get to
not
pick 2 for
Griffin?
this one. You get to pick 2 for this one.
Oh yeah, my bad. Pick 2. Yeah, pick 2. My bad.
I'm gonna go with the classic. Gladius still feels like a really good ship to fly in. Still feels really good to me. Like, I know people like the Arrow. I know people like all sorts of things, but the Gladius it should, because I guess like Squadron 42 and all that. But Gladius just feels really classic, and I love how it has all those like gold pass compartments and stuff like that, and weapons rack and all that. Feels good. Love it.
Cool. Okay, you good, Griffin?
Oh, well, me. Boy, that's a good one. This is personal this time. These aren't going to be necessarily my best in shows personally. I like the Eclipse and I like the Harbinger. I'm a bomber guy more than a combat pilot, from fighter pilot, I should say. So the idea of being able to be in a squadron of Eclipses, or being sent out on a solo mission with the Eclipse, or in a squadron with a Harbinger. Like Abdi, I finally went on ahead and bit the bullet and bought a Harbinger. I had been in protest.
Yeah, Griff.
I had been in protest because they had reduced.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
No,
Yeah, they had
keep doing that
reduced.
protest.
Yeah, they had reduced the amount of torps on it, which I was upset about.
Hey, you and me, can we start a petition to
Yeah,
get
I
more,
know.
more stalkers on this
Listen,
thing?
I'll take losing those beds on the other side to put 3 more on the other side, so they carry 6. I'd
lose
I'd
one
love
bed.
it. 1 bed, okay.
You lose 1 bed.
All right, cool. Yeah, okay. I'll buy that for $1.
We can hop on.
So yeah. So for those of you who are into the whole bomber thing, that's where I'd go, as the Eclipse and the Harbinger.
Cool. All right, Kalrati, how about you? Pick 2.
So I really like the commercial of the Retaliator. I've used it extensively.
You said the Retaliator, right?
Oh yeah, the Retaliator. I've used it extensively during Xenothreat, especially when it came to dumbfiring Idris, because it was pretty effective. But now I know the rearm cost of a torpedo, so I'm kind of hoping they introduce the Retaliator more into these missions so I can salvage the torpedoes, because I ain't paying so much for a torpedo. Thank you very much. So it's that ship and the Gladius. I just absolutely love the Gladius. I use it a lot in PvP, and I really hope they fix the storage bug, where if you interact with it, I don't know if they fixed it for 319.1. I don't think they did. But you can't interact with it again until you cycle open and close doors to open it. But outside of that, it feels really nice. It feels really great. Yeah, those are 2 of my favorite chips.
I'm going to give you another piece of advice, Kalrati. If you're having trouble paying for their torp, just put it on layaway. You buy a bunch and then make your money and pay back over time.
Aren't you banned from making jokes right now?
I know, right? Thank you, Abdi.
Keith's claw.
I'm the host. I get to do what I want. I have power.
First of all, I don't even think that was a joke, so I'm not even sure if that fell into any category, to be honest with you. But okay.
Okay, Kelosal, how about you?
Yeah, I just want to apologize to Griff and Updy because I don't have any cheese with that wine on the Vanguard series. But I would definitely go for the Gladius. I'm just all over the Gladius. I've always been a huge Gladius fan. I try not to be biased as far as with the Gladius, but the Gladius just has everything, including the ability to be mobile when it comes to maneuverability.
It does not have a bed.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. We don't need a bed. You can get an Atlas quantum drive and sleep anywhere you want because you can go long distance and get what you need to get. As far as the other, I mean, I would probably have to go with I'm going to go out of a limb and choose the Avenger Stalker here because, like I said, I'm thinking of Pyro, and I'm thinking of those bounty.
Ain't catching me.
I'll think of those bounty capsules they got in the back area. What, 6 of them, I believe. So, I mean, if you can give me some good quantum drive with that, with the Avenger Stalker and things like that, you can go ahead and go a long ways with detaining people. So, I'm sticking with the Pyro series, the Gladius and the Avenger Stalker.
Okay, cool. For me, I would pick the Avenger Titan first. I think it's a great starter. It had plenty of cargo, it had plenty of weapon. It's very versatile for people who are just starting out. So yeah, the Avenger Titan. I'm surprised I'm the only one who picked that, but I guess I'm the only one who thinking that way here. But yeah, for my second one, I got to go to Gladius for all the reasons that they listed above. I typically go with the Hornet when I do a Geno threat. But I had it on cooldown when I got blown up, and I took out the Gladius, and that thing flies nice. The flight mechanics are great on that thing. I can see. I mean, that's gonna be the primary ship in Squadron 42 after all. So I can see why it would fly that way. But I was impressed with it. So yeah, the Gladius and the Avenger Titan for me. All right. So up next we have May 23rd and 24th. They're going to Anvil. So you pick 2 of these again. You pick 2. We have the Arrow, Ballista, C8R, C8X, Cat, Centurion, Hornet, Hornet Wildfire, Super Hornet, Hornet Tracker, Hornet Ghost, Gladiator, a Hawk, Hurricane, Spartan, Terrapin, and Valkyrie. That's a lot. So let's go with Kelosal. Pick 2 of those.
Obviously, the Carrick. Obviously, definitely on that one. Don't even have to explain why. I guess the other one.
No, do it for the class, please.
Do it for the class. You can go anywhere, sit anywhere, sleep anywhere, do anything what you want to do in the Carrick. So, there you go. Gladiator. I think I'll choose the Gladiator because I think a lot of people are still sleeping on this ship.
They're waking up. I've been hearing multiple people buying this ship now.
Yeah. I think the Gladiator is a win-win, especially with those. What does it have? Torpedoes, I believe. With the Gladiator.
Yes.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a serious rework that's going to come on that ship. It's one of the oldest ships in the game, and I guarantee you, when they do the rework on it, that thing is people are going to be like, "Holy smoke!"
Everybody's gonna jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a beast. So Griffin, you want to go next?
What to go with?
2.
Okay, this is a tough one.
I'm hearing the Jeopardy music in my head.
Yeah, I know. This is a tough one. Because I'm going to pick a couple weird ships. One of them I'm going to pick is the Terrapin. Because I'm still looking forward to the whole reconnaissance, communications kind of thing that's going to happen with that particular ship. Now, I mean, it's in the future, but I love the design of the ship, and I think it's going to be just a really cool gameplay mechanic once it kicks in. The second thing I'm going to pick is a favorite of mine that I don't own anymore, but I love the ship, and that's a Valkyrie. Again, I'm a big support person when it comes to battle. That ship, once CIG puts in some air shields in that ship, it will be perfect. I think it's very good for what it's designed to do, but that open area for crew is not good if you're going to open up a back ramp or a side door and all the oxygen's going to go out of it. So, and it's because there are gunners sitting up there. So that means people have to stay in a helmet all the time. So if they put air shields in so that it keeps the atmosphere in that upper half of the ship, then I think it'll be the perfect ship. So those ones what I'm going to go with.
Does Anvil have that technology? I know the Varan ships do, but does
Well,
Anvil have that?
Yeah,
technology?
that's my thing. The only reason why I'm saying that, to be honest with you, Air Shields Colossal, is putting that in is easier than redesigning the ship so that it's sealed off. They'd have to do serious work to go in and put walls up and seal off that ship versus a copium or a magic way of fixing it is to do that. But I get what you're saying from a lore perspective. That may be a conflict. So
Can't always get what you want.
Kalrati, how about you?
So this was a bit difficult to me. So I would definitely go with the Hornet Ghost because when it came to combat in 2015, that's when I really started to learn how to fly. That was a ship that I used to learn in Vandal Swarm. So it's it remains close to my heart. And the second ship I would have to go with is the Arrow. Right, I really like it. It was either that or the C8R because of its medical capabilities. But outside of the Gladius, I really love the Arrow as a combat ship. It's fast, agile, and it's reliable for me. So I would definitely go with those two ships, the Ghost and the Arrow.
Cool, thank you for that. Okay, Colossal, you're up because you got the thing on your screen. Colossal.
I'm sorry. Let me put it back up here. Okay, you got it up here. Did I already said this?
I think Colossal already read. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Abdi. Okay, my bad.
So the Terrapin was already taken. It's my favorite design in the game of a ship. I think it just looks really cool and is very futuristic, like DK said already. But since that was already said, I'm going to go with the C8X because that's just my easy flyer. If I'm going from here to there, it's C8X all the way. So nice to get around in that thing, and it'll be really nice if I might have one on my Galaxy at some point. But right
you have
now,
a Galaxy.
I do have a Galaxy.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I like the C8X. Just feels good to fly. And then the Arrow. I know I said that I prefer the Gladius over the Arrow, but I think I've seen other people fly the Arrow, and I just wish that it felt that good to me, and I wish I was good enough to fly it. It's a really fast ship. It's really fast, and to the point where be talk about using it as racing too. So I feel like it's a really good ship, and maybe might not be as strong as the Gladius, but it's definitely in capable hands. That thing's gonna run circles around you and kite you till tomorrow. So
yeah, it's a butt kicker. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So Griffin, did I pick you?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the Super Hornet because that was my first love. It's one of the first ships that I got in the game. It's tanky. It has a lot of guns. I mean, it has. If you fit it right, you can have a size 4 on the top, and you have a size 3 everywhere else. That's how I fly it. And yeah, it's always been my first love. And I don't have a Super Hornet now. But now I do have a Super Hornet Heart Seeker, which is the Valentine's Day variant, but it's still a Super Hornet. So yeah, Super Hornet is for one. And for the second one, I'm waffling. Kalrati and Abdi, I would pick the Arrow. I kind of want to say the C8R because it's rescue and should be handy for people. I would want people to rescue me with it. But I guess I'm going to say Gladiator because that was my second love. Because I was when I first got into the game, I was trying to pick between the Super Hornet and Gladiator. I picked the Super Hornet eventually, but I like the Gladiator as a concept. I'm looking forward to the gold standard of it.
Yeah.
All right, so that is Anvil. Next up, we have May 25th and May 26th. Tumble System. Pick one this time instead of two. So we have the Nova. I'm going to say all these. So Cyclone MT, AARNTR. And then you have the new addition to the lineup, the Storm. So Griffin, how about you? What do you think for a Tumble Day? Pick one.
I'm going to leave the Storm off the list right now because we've got a page for that one specifically. So let me just go with the other ones. The RN for me, I'm into the reconnaissance. Once we start getting more gameplay that's involved with being down, ground-based type stuff, I'd really like to be able to do reconnaissance. I think it drops beacons, a whole lot of other stuff that vehicle does in particular. And I really am interested in something like the Nova tank, believe it or not. It's team effort to operate it. So I'm curious to see what that's going to be like.
Griffin, you pick one.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I'm still in the 2 mode. So no, let me stick with the RN. The reconnaissance thing. That's my first pick. Mm-hmm.
All right, Abdi.
I'm not the biggest fan of the way it feels to drive in this game right now. It just feels really floaty to me, and I know they're working on it for sure. And totally get that some people are super into it, but the Cyclones, they just, I don't know. They're not my favorite things to drive. I've never actually been in a Nova, but I think the idea of it being a team aspect thing, I think I'd like to be. I think a Nova sounds fun. So that'll be my pick.
All right. Kalrati. You meet it.
Thank you for that. So I'm actually gonna go with Griff here and say the Cyclone RN because many times I often look forward to the requirement to use a ground vehicle, but and more specifically to gather intelligence, to gather data. I remember when I was approaching Ghost Hollow in the Fury, and I thought, okay, how about it would be really cool if I couldn't fly here because it was a no-fly zone because of AA turrets and those things, and I actually had to drive here to gather intelligence, and it was dark, and the gear started ticking, and that's why I really look forward to the RN to be able to go into environments where it's difficult. It's just simply difficult and practically impossible to fly. So hopefully, eventually, when vehicles like these and missions like these become a thing, definitely going to use the RN.
Okay. Kelosal?
I fell in love with the MT, the assault vehicle. I know when we first tried it a couple years ago, and like 2 missiles shot down a Connie. 2 missiles shot down a Connie when it first came out. I'm fine with driving that left, right, and sideways. So I'll deal with the MT assault.
I was when it first came out. What can it do now?
I don't know. I haven't driven it.
Okay.
I haven't driven it since, but I'm fond of that vehicle. It's fast, and she's got missiles on her, so she can target you from a pretty good distance. So I'm for the MT. The Storm, we haven't seen it. We haven't played it. It's just a concept right now. So Nova's great, but I'm going to stick with the MT for right now.
I'm going to shoot and say Storm. Mech. That's all you need to
Storm is gone. Storm's not on the list.
All right.
I didn't choose it.
See, I don't really have any experience with the tumble because all the tumble stuff that I really like are not out. You have the Storm, you have the Ranger, but the Ranger that's not on the list either. So if I had to pick one out of random, I guess I'd say Nova because it's closer to the Storm. It's not a mech. It's more of a okay. Maybe the Nova can be Voltron and the Storm can be a mech. How about that?
Let's go with that.
All right, so that's it for Tumble. So up next to still on the same day, but doing our side, Robert Space Industries.
Nope. Look at the screen.
What? Oh,
there we go.
Storm. You want to read that for us, Griffin?
Blitz overcrowded battlefields and wipe out enemy artillery. The original Storm solo tank was the revelation back in 2606, turning the tides of countless conflicts in the Second Tavaran War. Now in 2953, Tumberland Systems is revolutionizing battlefield dominance and harnessing the forces of the unstoppable Squall once more. Faster, stronger, and more impactful than ever, the reimagined Storm is a true force of nature.
And there's only one pick for this one, so I'm picking the Storm. Anyone else going to pick something different?
I'll take the Storm DS. Yeah, you have a seat outside, just for navigation. No protection whatsoever. I'll take that.
I love that idea. Make it so. No, but anyone have any? I like. Okay, so I guess I'll go for it. Talk about it in ISG. The thing to check out with me it's a mech, but also it's a energy weapon instead of a ballistic. So I favor an energy weapon because you don't have to go back and refuel. Just use the energy.
Can I say something? I want to ask you a question about that. I keep hearing people say it's a mech. It ain't a mech. It's a tank.
That's what the dev said.
What he said was it surrounds you like a mech, is like what he said. It ain't a mech. It is a tank.
Folks are going to be calling it for the transform.
Yeah, I don't want people saying it's a mech. He said it just surrounds you like a mech, is what he said. So, I don't want people to get the wrong impression. Because when you say mech, it makes people think this thing does something beyond what it is. So, I'm just...
It's like a mech. My bad. It's like a mech.
Surrounds you like a mech. Surrounds you like a mech.
Taking away my dream, Griffin.
I'm trying not to give out bad information. I don't want to give out bad information. That's all.
Fine. Okay, we are going old school. Mobile
suit closer.
What was that, sorry?
I said, just wait for the Titan suit. That'll be a little closer.
Yes.
I don't even know when the Titan suit is coming. At this point, I'm worried it's never going to come. It's like Endeavor at this point. I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, but back to the Storm. Anyone else have any thoughts about the Storm?
Yes, my thanks to the Hurston Corporation for providing the energy weapon that you see on top. That's created by Hurston. That is created by the Hurstons. So
wait, is that an attrition? Wait, what is that?
No, it's not an attrition. But that weapon they have on top is created by the Hurstons. So thank you, Hurstons. Thank you. We already know it's going to be a very, very good weapon because the Hurstons create a lot of good weapons for the UEE. All hail the Empire.
At the expense of labor, sure.
Well, the labor is much appreciated. Thank you so much. Make sure you get your contract signed.
Anyone else? Storm?
I'm surprised that it's coming out. I'm surprised, but not surprised that it's coming out. I think they said, well, it's in active development. I don't think they outright said it's coming
active,
out. Right. But I'm surprised it's being so quick about it. But I guess, just
they wrote it for Squad 42.
Yeah, and actually, that's true. So it could be a valid reason why it's being accelerated. And who knows? Maybe it's going to be one of those that may support the newest of the newest in terms of the ship systems and those things. So for a vehicle this time.
I'm glad that they introduced. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm glad they introduced it from a single player perspective because the Nova does require 3 people to play. So people who do want to get into some form of armored battle, I think it's great. Definitely want to see what this. They were really quick to say this was an energy weapon. They're distinguishing it versus laser or something like that. So I'm curious as to Colosal's point if there's something special or particular about the weapon because I think it's bespoke, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Kelosal?
Isn't a laser energy too?
Yeah, but they decided to use that term energy cannon, which they haven't used previously. I don't know why. So I'm just curious as to why they decided to choose those words about it.
I really thought it was going to have like a rail gun on it. That's what I thought it was going to be before it came out.
Yeah, and also the design on it's interesting. Those 4 treads are all independent with a different type of suspension. And they talked about this thing being able to get over obstacles better than the Nova does. So I'm curious to see. Obviously, it's probably going to be faster too. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing is used in game. I think a lot of players that want to get into that type of stuff, they're not limited by having to be into a Nova tank, like I said, with 3 people.
I am looking forward to all the people who are going to make machinimas at this is a Johnny 5 or a Wall-E. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
KVN, yes, to answer your question, it is smaller than a Nova. It is correct.
Smaller. Yeah.
It is a bespoke energy autocannon made by Hurston, and it also, I believe, the one of the devs said that one would not take out a tonk. You would have to have at least a minimum of 2.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So don't take it out alone, basically. So that is the storm, and thank you for reading that, Griffin. I just putting that on you.
No problem. No problem.
So next up, we have, I'm looking at the screen, just make sure it comes up this time. On his side. There you go. So he has, pick one, not two, pick one. He had the Aurora LN, Constellation Andromeda, Keela, Phoenix, Taurus. He had the Lynx. I'll read that in a bit. The Mantis, Scorpius, Antares, and Ursa. For the Lynx, it said, rugged adventure meets high-end luxury in the Lynx. Designed to fit perfectly in the constellation Phoenix.
Can you hold on that?
Compact.
Do me a favor, hold that. We've got
Okay.
a page for the links. You know, it's a separate page.
Oh, okay. So I'll pick one then. Colossal.
Well, I'm gonna pick one, and then I'll answer the other question a little bit later. The Phoenix.
And why?
We'll just wait till the other part comes up. I'll tell you that later.
Oh, okay. That's what you meant. All right. Kalrati.
Oh, you want us to pick only one, man? Okay, so
Right.
I'll go with the since it's the LN is not the MR. I'll go with Mantis, right? Not choose the Aurora this time, particularly because it fits some of my purposes. So yeah,
You have
so
like the perfect pirate personality. You're like a jolly pirate who's gonna like take you down and smile.
You're like a jolly pirate. Smile while you got your stuff. You know what I'm saying? I give you a wink while he come by. Wink.
I
You know what I'm
know.
saying?
Oh my God.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
I'm gonna clip that. Are you done, Kalrati?
I'm done.
Okay. Abdi.
I'm gonna go with the Aquila. I have recently changed from having an Andromeda to an Aquila. I liked the idea of having a Carrack, but then realized I don't want to like crew up with that many people if I'm in charge. And the Aquila is like the perfect amount of like, you know, I have like for the friend group that I'd like to actually, you know, play with. Aquila really is like the perfect amount of people for it. It's like perfect amount of size of ship too for exploration for what I want to do. And it comes with a Ursa rover and the Merlin. So that's
Yeah, I'm not picking on Abdi specifically. I'm just curious. Has there been like any confirmation about the pronunciation for Aquila?
Yes, it's Aquila.
Aquila, that's what I
I
thought.
feel like
right.
I've heard Chris Roberts say Aquila.
It's
it's
what
Aquila.
CIG says about everything. They say it's whatever pronunciation you want to put out there. They did the same thing when
that's
we went
right.
over to freaking Orison versus Horizon. Remember?
Aegis.
They went to
Horizon.
Aegis versus Aegis.
Calliope.
Yeah, it's always two right. Calliope versus Calliope. Yeah, you know.
And
So
that's fine, but
Calliope.
see, his word, that's not acceptable for me because I'm a teacher. And you just can't go around and sit there and say, well, whatever pronunciation you
Right.
make, you know, when you sit there and say this is off of a Greek goddess, then it is Aquila.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And it clearly tells you how to break it down. And it is Key. It is not Qui, it's Aquila.
Yep.
So that's the correct
That's
pronunciation.
it is the correct
I
pronunciation.
failed Colossal's test.
Yeah.
Dang it! I'm gonna have to take this class again.
Yeah, well, that's we always got a seat for everybody. Everybody's welcome.
Okay, Griffin.
Ooh, well, Abdi went where I was going to go, so I'm going to go back to my
my bad.
personal favorite, which is going to be the Phoenix. A lot of the ships I own, I like them because of the social dynamics that they create, being able to do things with a group of friends. But even more, I'm praying and hoping that CIG follows up with a rework on the Phoenix. And if they do that, I think it's going to, the way they've started to figure out the way ships should look that are in that touring luxury area. If they do that to the Phoenix, then I think it'll be a solid, even better than what it is right now. It needs work.
I'm gonna go with the Phoenix also, because of two words. It's baller. So you got that from Josh Coons when he did the rework. I mean, I'll speak more on it, but I mean, I like the wood paneling in it, and I prefer that kind of luxury over the Origin kind of luxury, which is too clean for me. So yeah, the Phoenix for me. It's baller. So we're gonna go with the did you have everything? I want to skip one. Okay, so now the links. So record, adventure meets high-end luxury on the link, designed to fit perfectly in the constellation Phoenix, the world of a compact frame, accommodates transport in a large variety of larger ships. So, what do people's thoughts about the links? Do you have your hands up, Colossal? You want to say something?
Well, that's why I chose the Phoenix. I hit two birds with one stone. It's bravo RSI. Bravo. We've been waiting for the links for a long time on this. And finally, the Origin fans have something to be sweating about. I mean, happy about. So it's a great vessel. I don't know what to call it, a ship or land. I don't know, but
vehicle.
Everybody look at Griffin's face right now.
Yeah, yes, he's just Griff loves it. He loves it, and Griff is trying not to smile. Good and well he was smiling and sweating the whole time.
I wasn't. I love the. I've been looking forward to it, links. That's why I own a Phoenix, because it was going to come with the links. I have no hatred toward. See, I don't know why you think that I'm that origined out. As long as it's luxury and classy, that's all that matters. So that fits in the category.
Ding ding. Two birds with one stone. Phoenix links. You can't go wrong with that.
All I got to say is, if you notice, there's a certain person who's starting to lean toward luxury who previously was not. That's what I want you to notice. Notice that.
I have several Origin ships.
Yes, he does. It started when he bought the 400i, y'all. So don't let him fool you.
That's not true. That's not true. It was the 300 series that I purchased.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was the first one.
Okay.
And we're down here.
Anyone else for the links? I just want to say I'm a Colossal. I've been waiting for the link forever. Well, I feel like forever, even though it's been 8 years, but still. So I love the commercial, and the music in the commercial give it an unreal feel. No, I'm going to say high-tech feel. My bad. But yeah, so I love the commercial. The sight and the sound, and they're giving us a good look into pyro in this commercial. So yeah, good job with the commercial, CIG.
Go
ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, this takes us back. I can't remember what video it was, but I know DK was on it, and it had to do a lot with luxury transport, and it takes us back to that video about not just in space or via ship, but in terms of the missions, the transport missions that CIG showcased in one of the ISCs back. This is a good example of how it can be done via the luxury vehicle, and who knows, maybe this can actually spark some ideas about luxury transport from point A to point B over land. So yeah,
they did say something on SCL last week about people are like, oh, what's the big deal about, ground vehicles and all that kind of stuff. And they're like, in the future, there could be, planets where you don't want to bring a ship down, where ground vehicles are, you're going to be your main mode of transportation from point to point. And, we got those big underground facilities and stuff like that. I feel like there's going to be more and more reasons to take someone from point A to point B. So I feel you on that point, Kalrati.
Yeah,
very good point, Abdi, because I believe they did say something about possibly making roads in places like Lorville and things like that. And I think they're gearing towards that with this vessel coming out. Good point.
And I think the Origin owners are happy that they have something other than an Ursa rover to put into a 600i now. They can put the links on.
Absolutely.
I mean, they had a meal, so I don't know what you were talking about.
I want the links to be so specific that if you brought a glass of champagne on an Ursa rover, that the suspension would just have it bouncing around. If you have it on the links, perfect gyro suspension, nothing spilling or anything like that. I want them to get that detail with it.
I don't think it's gonna be quite that detailed, but we'll see. That would be nice. So yeah, that is the RSI link. I gotta get a feel for a LTI token, but yeah.
Let me toss in something too. This is another one of those examples when I say pay attention to what vehicles are for. And I'm not trying to deter people from buying things, but CIG was very specific about certain things from the trailer and also when they did the SCL the other day. They talked about, and if you guys have been in the links and you know that it has monitors inside of it, they talked about people being inside of the vehicle and being able to bring up their portfolios and their stock information. In fact, the placeholders there are actually screens from the TDD. So, my question becomes, what is this actually for? other than cool factor, but how is it used? What's the game mechanic? And people are always asking, well, what's the game mechanic for luxury or whatever? And so I wonder whether this becomes something that literally they kind of gave this impression of like a CEO kind of thing, or somebody who's managing stuff. And you can, of course, use it for whatever you want to as far as transport goes. But, whether or not people will get to a point where they decide to use it on that level of gameplay or role play, where it becomes like a command vehicle, or someone who is, you were mentioning earlier about when we're going to these underground facilities, maybe you're just even using it to move around inside of one of those buildings from one end to the other versus walking. I'm just really curious to see where they're going to go with this. And also because it is tied to Kolosal's point, it is tied to the Phoenix. It's been designed to be a partner to that particular ship. And of course you can put it whatever you want, but I am curious to see what the mechanics will be beyond this, just the fact of a nice riding vehicle. We took it out the other night, a bunch of us, we took out 3 of them. We had a real nice time in it, handles very well, but it's distinctively different from the Ursa rover. It does have its own flavor. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go with this later on as far as gameplay goes. Cool factor is fine, but you do want to have some functionality for it in the game. So I am curious to see what they're going to do with that.
Could this be like Yacht Club's on the ground, like luxury touring, I guess, ship or something like that?
Well, here's the deal, right? There's 2 seats in this thing, right? And then there's two in the front and 2 in the back for passengers. And again, there are computers in there that are there for something, and it's not just that they're to watch television, because they could just left them blank. So again, I'm just kind of curious as to what they see, because they did mention people using this to do something in them,
So I see this as a possible role-playing apparatus. You don't have to. I mean, there are bars in the game, and there are rooms in the game that you can go to. So screw all that. Why don't you go ahead and take, hey, Griff, I got a preposition for you. Let's come in my links real quick and let's talk. Driver, drive. And then
Preposition, proposition.
Right, and all of a sudden, fastcart now, and they're talking about what's going to be in his Banu Merchantman and things like that, and some type of things that we can go ahead and negotiate while we're out and about, and nobody's going to hear us but just me and fastcart, or me and Griff, or me and Abdi. I mean, it's a great role playing situation as well. I had a student several years ago. Who literally asked me, a student, this is a 7th grader, who popped out and said, hey, Mr. So-and-so, can I take out my cell phone? And I was like, no, you can't take out. Why? And the kid said, I want to look at my stock.
Excuse me?
There are kids that got stock now. And this kid literally said that in class.
7th grade, that's what, 12 years old?
7th grade. I couldn't say no. I was stunned.
now you open up a whole can of worms, because one kid had that phone.
He didn't say stock, right? He said stock.
I was stunned because this kid had the teaching from his parents to manage money. In 7th grade, which most of those aren't doing at 40, 50, or even 60 years old. So it was bravo. So my thing is, this could be happening in game. You could be going someplace where you're saying, or you're managing the stock market, where you got people working for you, and you're saying, hey, this commodity is this price for this much for this price at this time. Please go over there and get it now. So you can always be looking at that, just like my students looked at his stock market to see what he was doing at that time. It's great.
Yeah.
I've got
real quick, Griffin, you brought up that was a good segue to what I want to come back to. Griffin, you said TBD, TDD, that's a stock place. What does that expand to? Do you remember?
What does it expand to? What do you mean? The Trade and Development Division? Trade and Development Division? You mean, is that what it stands for? Oh, yeah, Trade and Development
Division.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so that's the stock market, and I just wanted to clear that up and keep people confused. So go ahead, Kalrati.
It's not currently working right now. It's not working.
Right,
not working. Okay.
Yeah, I got a question. So the luxury part that has a door that's similar to the Rover, it separates you from the driver, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. But can it be locked?
Yes, it can be.
Okay, that's awesome. Because the reason why I was asking is for like hostage taking, because no, like okay,
Well,
hear
which
me
side
out.
can be locked
Hear me out.
on? Which
Hear
side
me
can be
out.
locked
Pirate.
on?
Well,
Let
that's
me,
the
let me
thing,
tell you
too,
what else
right?
is very cool about that thing. It actually has a fiber optic lighting system inside of it too, which is really nice.
Ooh,
That
okay.
table in the back, if you'll see a white panel. If you zoom in on it, you'll see there are 3 buttons on there, and they change the lighting inside of the vehicle, which is pretty cool.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I went to the links on the side there just to check it out. And as soon as I walked in, I heard this noise and I was confused because I didn't know what the noise come from. So I moved around the link some more, and then I heard the noise again. It was the door opening and closing automatically behind
wow.
me. It wasn't in my field of view, so I didn't know what it was until I turned around. So I thought that was not something I expected. That's not really shown, I don't think, in the video. So I was not expecting that, but that's cool for the role players out there, I think.
Bonsai, by the way, thank you for mentioning that. Yes, by the way, don't try the lock in the cabin right now. If you push it down, it will not unlock on you. I got it to unlock on me after 20 minutes, but I was out with Sheep the other day, and for an hour and a half, he was trying to get out of his links, and I had to go out and get to him, and it was crazy. It took an hour and a half, and then the game 30K'd, but he was stuck. He was stuck.
You're the driver. You're not supposed to be out of that area anyway. You're supposed to stay there and
no. He was out looting. He was out looting, and he hit it by accident and got stuck in it. He's like, Griff, can you come get me? And he was literally parked outside of his Phoenix and couldn't get out of the passenger
You see
area.
Kelosal out here putting up the little privacy window.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so that is the RSI link. A lot of fun. I'm gonna pick a few up for OTAT tokens for giveaways. Yeah. Origin Jumper, pick one. You have the 125A and the 325A. I'll go first. I just picked the 325A because it's one of the OGs, and I prefer the 300 series over the 100 series. Simple as that. Colossal, how about you?
I mean, both the 100 series and the 300 series are good ships. Is the 325 the fighter, or is it the
It's the fighter.
It's the interceptor.
Fighter.
The interceptor.
Okay, yeah, I was a little bit jealous of the fighter because the fighter hits better than the 315.
I mean, both of those are fighters in their category.
Right.
The 125 is the fighter for the 100 series, and the 325 is the interceptor.
Okay, all right. Right. So I don't have any of these because I have the different versions of them. But gosh, I'll probably pick the 125A simply because of the fact that it has a it can what's that thing called where it can go ahead and it has a fuel scoop in it. I'll just take that.
All right. Kalrati?
So I love relationships, right? Because you see the type and value of the materials on that hull. Imagine you're flying and you come across a nice 325A. I'm going to choose that as opposed to 125A. More meat to it, more surface area. You're going to take it out.
He's talking about it. He's not inside the ship.
From an external point of view, from an external point of view, right?
Because you have more you can salvage. So that's why I'm going to choose the 325A.
Lord help me, this pirate.
Abdi.
I'm gonna go with the 325A because I'm the freaking Joker who's inside of it, who's getting salvaged.
You and me both.
That literally, it was the second ship that I ever bought. Like I upgraded from my Aurora to a 325A. So, literally no other reason than that. Just homage to the past.
Cool. Griffin?
I got to wear my Origin 125 here. Couple reasons. One, I think that people still tremendously underestimate starter ships. And
Aren't they both starters?
The 325A? No. 325 is 300 series is not starters. No. 125A, but also Kelosal mentioned about the fuel. It has the air fuel system in it, which renews its fuel. You can fly 100 series around and stay filled with fuel in certain areas all the time, which I think is great. They're small, they're nimble. Most people don't pay attention to you in them. they're nice as far as I'm concerned. I know a lot of people say, oh, you can't do a lot of combat and fighting. Well, I think there's going to be a lot of people flying in smaller ships when the game finally gets where it's going to go. And don't get me wrong, people will be flying in big ships. But if you want to get somewhere quickly and fast, exiting atmosphere quickly, if you're one of those people who lives in Orison and you want to zoom out of atmosphere fast, yeah, go ahead and keep sticking in your MSR while I dust you in a 100 series, guaranteed. So as far as I'm concerned, I still like the 100 series for things like that.
Question for you, Griff. You think they're ever going to put a bathroom in the 125A?
No bathrooms in the 100 series. Nope.
No, I know.
Yeah, I was
Kavion
just,
said- Go ahead,
I was just looking it up just to make sure, but according to the website, I don't think the 125A is considered a starter either. The 100 and the 100I and the 300I are the starters, as far as I can tell. So, but yeah, that's a small nitpick. What?
I thought the 100 series were all starters.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yeah, we're not talking about as far as dollars, fast card. We're talking about what would be a starter.
I'm
ship.
talking about package, like game
Oh,
package.
packages. Oh, okay.
Yeah, game package.
Okay.
Yeah, the 100I has a game package.
Yeah.
So that's why I call it the starter.
Yeah. No, you're right. From that
That's
perspective,
my
you're right.
interpretation.
Yep.
Okay. I know Kavion
All right,
said
so
that, the 325 has, because it has coffee. Correct me if I'm mistaken, guys, but did you have to buy that coffee when you bought and paid for the series?
Yeah, it was an option.
All right, it was an option. Not everybody's going to have that coffee maker, but
It's the coffee maker, the clock radio, the picture frame, and the food processor.
Yeah,
food processor. That's it.
Yeah.
The picture.
Yeah, I have two of those.
Chris Roberts, right?
Say it again.
I said the picture frame comes standard with a picture frame.
Of course.
I'm not going to comment on that one. Anyway, Consolidated Outland just has one ship, the Mustang Delta. Then that's the only thing they have for a Consolidated Outland for Invictus Fleet. Any thoughts about the Mustang Delta?
I don't know. What's the love on that ship? Because you don't see many people flying. I mean, just in general, the Mustangs in general, as far as I'm concerned, I don't see them flying around the verse very much. But the Kalrati, I know you're a big fighter, so you got any thoughts on the Delta?
So I was about to ask if it still has the rockets, because I haven't used this ship since the rockets were, I wouldn't say the meta, but in PvP, like some years back, those rockets were deadly.
They were,
but I don't know if someone in chat. Okay, it still has the rocket.
Yeah, Bonfire says.
Okay,
yeah,
that's awesome. But I don't. I mean,
weird place right now too.
Yeah,
I feel like,
they are.
Like signatures, like your flares don't really work as well as they used to. So maybe more people are using it.
Could be. I mean, rockets, I think, are, in my opinion, would be pretty cool against larger targets. Particularly, I would assume disabling them if you don't have any missiles or so. If you find yourself, not really bombarded by surrounding enemies, but if you think that you're okay, the rockets don't have a large damage output. But if it's good enough to, say, disable a fairly largish ship compared to the Delta, so I think that's where rockets can find their use cases, particularly also for ground-based targets as well. I haven't used the Delta in a long time, but I think it's still a pretty cool ship from CO.
I don't think I've ever used a Delta. I mean, it's not on the list obviously because it's not a military ship. The Mustang Gamma or the Omega for racing for me. But yeah.
Wait, you said it's not a military ship?
It's a light fighter.
It is.
The Mustang Gamma or
Omega. We thought this was the Delta wasn't. We misunderstood.
No, the Mustang Gamma or the Omega. That would be my pick if I had to pick a Mustang. That's what I was saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, anyone else have any feelings about the Mustang Delta?
I just don't know. I haven't flown it in so long. I'm like Kalrati. I have no idea where it is right now, and I don't ever hear people talking about using it, even when stuff like Xenothreat and stuff comes up. There may be somebody who do it because they just do it for the challenge, but I just don't hear very much discussion about it.
I just see it in the missions, and that's it.
You okay over there, Kelosal?
I just I'm disappointed with Consolidated. I hold that company in high regards, and it just laid a goose egg in this Invictus week. So the Delta I've flown once or twice, and maybe I've flown her in Arena Commander. I can't remember. 16 rockets. Those rockets can be, but they are size 1s. I mean, it's one of the starter categories. It's not really a starter because it doesn't have a package or anything like that. But yeah, it's one of the. It's a starter category, but I'll do better in the Pisces. So I mean, I'm talking about the Pisces expedition. So I mean, okay. I'm not even going to choose because you only got one show. I'm not even going to choose. We're moving on. Yeah. All right.
Well, you know what? Maybe next Saturday for Soul Citizens shenanigans, we'll take the Deltas out and see what we can do with them. Put them against the Mirai. Put them against the Mirai or something. Let's see what happens.
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, I think the Mirai is going to come out on top, but that's my opinion.
Maybe not. Sure. Actually, I don't know. I'm curious. Now it sounds like an experiment.
Yeah, I do have to start somewhere, Glaystone, but I ain't starting with that, buddy.
All right, so up next we have same day but different manufacturer, Argo Astronautic MPUVP. That's the personal transport, and this is the only one in the category for this manufacturer. So MPUVP wins.
I have a question though.
Thoughts about it?
Yeah, I got a question because Jade mentioned this in the chat, but I'm curious as to why the cargo wasn't included. Because this ship is
I think it should be, in my opinion.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the MPUVs are kind of indigenous to the whole Aegis, with the Idris and stuff. And I'm just kind of surprised if you're moving personnel, I would think you'd also be maybe moving cargo with these. Even in a military scenario, I just don't. I'm just trying to figure out.
I mean, they have the Hercules C2 on there, and that's cargo, the civilian cargo variant. So yeah.
So I'm wondering if it isn't like it wasn't picked, or if it's more the fact that the MPUV is actually in the Squadron 42 trailer. The MPUVP.
The personnel.
Yeah, that one's in the remember when the big guy comes out of the
I remember. I was just saying I'm not sure about that excuse.
Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
That could be.
It's not a great reason. I'm not saying it's
okay.
I'm
just saying that maybe that's their decision.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Just surprised. I mean, those two ships have always kind of been partnered together. You know what I mean? So I was just surprised that they didn't decide to use that as well. But okay.
Have they?
And this is the third year, so it's always been like that. I'm guessing. Yeah. Interesting.
It's the third year they've had the MPUVP out in Invictus.
I don't remember. That's a good question. I don't remember this being by itself before. That's why I'm saying they've always paired these, but it's hard to, I'm getting IAE mixed up with Invictus. So I can't remember. I know at IAE they're both out there, but obviously they would be, but I don't know about Invictus. That's a good point.
I'm just sticking with the Pyros theme. I mean, this could be one of those ships that could get you in, from your, a large size ship. From orbit to atmosphere and back. I mean, it's a fast ship. Doesn't have a quantum drive. I don't think it has a quantum drive. I don't think so.
Do these things land in a Carrack, or is it too big for a Carrack?
Oh, they fit in a Carrack.
Yeah,
I think you can fit multiple. 2.
I don't know. I've never tried to fit it in a Carrack.
It's similar to the Fury. So how many Furies can it fit in a Carrack?
2, I think.
Yeah, but I ain't thinking about that. I'm talking about from the aspect of moving personnel. Was it 6 people in a Argo or 8? You guys remember?
I want to say 6. I don't think it's 8.
I'm looking right now.
Oh,
Starjup Ender. Thank you.
Thank you, Ender.
Thanks, Ender.
Welcome all the raiders. We're covering our review of Invictus launch week 2953, and right now we're talking about the Argo Astronautics MPUVP. So yeah,
surprisingly,
go ahead, Kalrati.
Surprisingly, I just took a quick look for last year, and the MPUVC was there. At least based on these.
The cargo was there. Cargo was there.
Yeah, so
that's really weird. Ranzarok, thank you so much for that follow. We appreciate that.
Oh, wow. Startup Ender said 7,685 total raised for St. Jude.
Way to go, Ender.
Good for you, buddy.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did a major fundraiser
for
that
today
word.
for St.
Ender,
Jude.
just so you know, we did get your message. We're going to probably start in June. That was my plan. So then, I told you I was going to get to it eventually. So we're going to begin in June. There's a lot of folks, guys, in case you don't know, a lot of the streamers and Ender's been really a motivator for getting streamers to support St. Jude. We did them 2 years ago. We're going to pick it back up again this year as well. So give some real shout outs to him.
7,685 beans from the Beans Bonanza game? The one with the nasty
dollar. No.
No. I'm just wondering, is he going to get that many? Is that part of it?
I just want to bring up Kavion said, oops, it scrolled off, but Kavion said, CIG forgot about it, hoping no one else would notice. So he talked about the MPVC.
Yeah, it could have been an oversight.
Yeah.
All right, so that is after I'll go astronautic. Next, we're going to go on to the next day, May 27th to 28th. Drake in the Planetary, otherwise known as DrakeCon, and you get to pick 2 of these. So you have the Buccaneer, Caterpillar, Corsair, the Cutlass Black, Blue, Red, Steel, Cutter, Dragonfly Black. I don't know why the Dragonfly Yellow jacket is in there, but Herald and Vulture.
Because it wasn't for sale. That's why.
Griffin, you want to go first? We can pick 2 of these.
Boy. You hitting me again, boy.
I can
All right,
take it.
I'll give you some projected stuff here. Don't laugh. The Herald, because it's a sleeper, it's been around a long time, and data running is going to be a big deal at some point later on with information handling. So I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to pick a real dark horse here, Cuddy Steel. I still
going to pick that as a joke.
Yeah.
You're picking that for real.
No, I'm still believing CIG does in some ways rather put price based on what the ships are going to capable of doing. And if you look at the distance between their lowest ship, which is the black at $100, and the steel, which is at $220, the steel needs to be exactly that. It needs to be what we saw in the commercial, a heavily armored ship that can bring in 18 lives and they don't all die and get blown up. So it needs to be able to land into infantry areas. It's not the Valkyrie. Valkyrie dropped into a major war zone, but the steel needs to be able to drop people in with infantry and stuff and be able to survive and get out. And once they get the gun configurations tight and everything else, it might be worth its gold because you're going to pay $275 to move to a Valkyrie, which is a little bit more money. That might be the thing that lands in the middle of the road. It's not worth it now, but if they harden that thing up so that the name really is what they say, it might be worth it for people who want to move a bunch of people around and don't want to pay $400 for a freaking Tavarin. What's the ship, Kelosal?
The
Prowler.
Yeah, the Prowler.
Prowler.
So there you go. That's my
I will say, I feel like they haven't talked very much about like what their plans are for armor yet. I think Space Tomato put out a video recently where he talked about what all the things that they have said about armor and things like that. I just feel like it could change so much, and if that ship were to change, that's exactly how I would. So I could see a point. I could see your point in that.
Oh, you said the Herald and the Steel, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Abdi, pick 2.
So I'm gonna go with the Cutter because I recently found out, not recently, when it first came out, I found out that the Steve, the STV fits in there. Oh, whoops! I didn't even realize I have all my camera stuff going on. That the STV is fits in there really nicely. I kind of wish there was more reason to do that. I have a feeling that maybe when we get those revamped ground outposts and stuff like that, I'd bring your Cutter down with an STV in there. I think that'd be super great. I'd love that. And then I'm gonna say the Vulture only because hoping to do a stream later tonight where we're doing some salvaging. So doing a little bit of an op in that. So hoping to get some use out of that ship tonight.
Cool.
So you said the Vulture and what was the other?
The Vulture and the Cutter.
Cutter, okay, thank you.
Cutter fits an STV.
Thank you.
Tell your friends.
Colossal.
So I don't think any of these ships have an ejection seat, except for the Buccaneer, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if the Buccaneer had one, and the Buccaneer is one of my favorite ones. Shout out.
Colossal, where that mug at?
Shout out. Right. And that's you flying a Drake and you dying a Drake. I mean, you know, my apologies to Starship Group and Star Jump and my shout out to the Mainland High School Buccaneers. But I mean, I'm gonna go. I think Griff has nailed it with the Herald. A lot of people are not flying this ship, but this is one of those ships that can get you in and get you out. I mean, really, really quickly. Do what it's got to do with surveillance. And I'm going to stick with the pyro theme. I'm going to go with, and I'm pushing it here. We did not see the cutter do well in pyro with those pulses from the sun. So.
The solar flares.
Right, with the solar flares. So I'll probably go with the Corsair, but I'm really thinking about pushing that Caterpillar.
Yeah, it's got some promise to it. It's got some promise to it in the future.
She's got promise.
Especially if you put a whole bunch of Furies inside of it.
Right, she's got a quantum drive that can get you anywhere. She's modular. I'll go with the Caterpillar.
And what was the other one again? The Herald.
Well, you know, let's
Caterpillar.
Yeah, let's hit on one other thing, Colossal, about the Caterpillar, because I was going to say that one too. Also, you've got the modularity of the command unit that separates from it. Which a lot of people forget about, that you're going to be able to drop those different containers down on planets and moons, leave them behind, whether it's got a medical bay, repair bay for your bases and stuff. There's a lot of possibilities for the Cat. It's an old ship, but it's been around a long time, but it's still got a lot of promise when it comes to modularity.
Isn't the command center just a cutter variant, almost? Similar? No, you don't think so? Okay.
No, we were on there walking around on it last night. It's designed different. It's got 2 levels to it. It's totally different design.
I only know that because when I go to the Crash Caterpillar, I feel like I'm always like trying to figure out how to get around that part.
Yeah. Kalrati.
All right, so I'm gonna go firstly with the Vulture because I absolutely love when I come across a Vulture pilot and there's only one person inside and they ate in the cockpit. When you scan it, when scanning is working, you see that there's someone inside of there. Whew, juicy targets. I'm just joking. As someone who loves salvaging and hull scraping, I definitely would pick the Vulture for that purpose as well. But also, for the same topic, the Caterpillar. I think the Caterpillar, once item stripping and those things came online, the Caterpillar's value, in my opinion, spiked up because of the side doors compared to, I mean, yeah, you have the other larger ships too, but those side doors, while it may have been difficult to handle the one SU cargo and those things because of the walkovers, those side doors really help spike the value of it with regards to salvaging equipment and those things. So I would definitely say that's a great ship to have if you're doing things like that. So that's going to be my second pick.
I guarantee one of Kalrati's ships named Vulture. That's exactly how you think. You go to just pick at people and just take carcasses and stuff and just wait for people to get out of seats so you go ahead and shoot at the ships.
Okay, so my two picks for similar reasons that everyone else picked them. One picked the Cutter. I think it's a great starter ship. It's very versatile. And the Vulture, a great salvager, or the starter salvager. So yeah, the Cutter and the Vulture for me, for reasons everyone else have already said. So yeah, that is Drake in the Planetary, and that is the last manufacturer. Q&A is up. Let's see if we have any questions. Nope, it's all joke bands. Stuff for jokes.
All joke bands? Okay.
Yeah.
All joke. Oops.
All joke bands. Stuff for Kavion said one. I can joke. So yeah, no question. So you do have a raffle coming up. How are we doing?
Yeah, we didn't talk about it. Why don't you announce what? Or you want me to announce it, or you want to announce what we're doing? I can announce.
You go ahead.
All right, gang.
I thought I did.
This is at the end of Invictus. As you guys know, Invictus is wrapping up. We just got DrakeCon going on, so we wanted to do a giveaway of 3 items today. We're going to do 3 different giveaways. Ooh. And so we are going to be giving away a Fury, The Fury will come with the Fury with its Warbond, LTI'd, and you get all the paints for it as well. We're going to be doing a giveaway of a Lynx, and that is also going to be LTI, and you will get all the paints for that as well. And then last
Those
but
come with the
not
Invictus
least,
jacket too, right?
yes, sir. And then last but not least, we will be giving away a Storm, which is Warbond as well, and it will come with the Concierge second paint with that as well. So I'm going to give away a lot of good stuff here.
Somewhere to put up.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yep. So we're going to do that. We're going to do our giveaway today to you guys for hanging out with us
By the way, I
today.
just want to ask: has anyone seen Gomab? Is she around? Just
Yeah,
making
he's
sure.
here.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
here.
he is around. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Gomab,
He is
whatever you do,
here.
do not type anything.
Yes, he is here. So why don't we go ahead and start getting things ready for this? And we're going to go with the first one. And the first one's keyword will be Fury, ! Fury. So if you are interested in getting into this particular one, we're going to do that. Now, give me 1 second here before
you said anything.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on a second, gang. Hold on. Hang on. For some reason, our giveaway thing is not working. Give me a second, gang. Hold on.
Hold on, everybody.
Why isn't
account, or is it in the Griff account?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Is it logged into the Soul Citizens account or the Griff?
No. The Soul. Oh no. Soul Citizens. For some reason, our bot is not botting, and I don't know why our bot. It says we're logged in. Let me log out and log back in.
It took Memorial Day.
Oh, by the way,
is that what happened?
Since we do have some time, if anyone want to ask a question, please go ahead and ask. You click on the click button and submit a question. Or we're doing a giveaway.
All right, let's see. Did our bot log in? Let's see. Stand by, gang. Stand by. All right, there we go. Now it's loaded. Okay, so hang on. Don't type yet. Don't
do anything yet. Don't do anything yet.
Don't type it. If you're a subscriber, you get double the possibilities here. So
GoMab was hacking the bot. That's why it was just getting started.
Is that what happened?
I was gonna say
again. All right, ! Fury, gang. ! Fury. You can start punching it in now if you're interested in getting a Mariah Fury.
By the way, you can always donate to the Bank of Kelosal. She stands open 24 hours a day.
Yes, you can. You know what? It is
Kelosal quiet.
You know what? We're having some issues here. It is not loading people. And there it goes. It has a huge lag spike. Wow. Okay, they all just popped in because I'm looking at all these names flying by and nothing was going in. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, we got quite a few subscribers in here jumping in too. That's awesome. All right.
And remember, subscribers could
twice the chance. Yeah, double the possibilities. All right. I think we've got plenty of people in at this point. ! Fury. And we'll say going once, going twice, sold American. Abdi, why don't you give us the countdown on a 3, 2, 1?
All right, ready on the 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Oh, look who's there. Mel Carey. Mel Carey. There we go. Congratulations. Mel Carey, definitely.
So now that the Mercury won the Fury?
The Fury, yes.
He says, wait, what the?
This is surprised he won. So Malkery, send fastcart a direct. Oh, you send him a fastcart. Well, you can send it to me. Send me a direct message to Griffin Gaming, or send it to Soul. I'm sorry, send it to Soul Citizens.
With a picture of your ID to make sure that you're not good.
Or you can email us. Send us your email, okay? Because we know we need your email. Please send us your RSI.
We already have here, don't we?
I'm not going to look back in all those things and try to find it. So Malkery, send me in Gmail, soulcitizens@gmail.com. Make sure you put an S on it, soulcitizens@gmail.com, and we will get that out to you ASAP. The Fury along with the additional paints that come along with it. Okay. Congrats to that. Congrats. All right.
Gifted sub and in a win. What a day. Yeah, absolutely. What a day for you.
He's having a great day here. All right, gang. Let's get ready to do our second one. And
what happens when you support the Empire?
Oh, Lord. Don't get him started, y'all. All right. This one's going to be obviously for the Lynx. exclamation point links on this one for you who are interested. Subscribers, once again, you get twice the chance. Go Mob. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna mess with Go Mob. All right, you all put an exclamation point. Exclamation points, links. If you're interested in getting a links, links is up next. Did any of you guys buy links, or did you already? I know Kelosal, you got one automatically. Fastcart, you don't have your fair.
I'm getting some.
You're getting
some.
Okay.
I got an IKEA. Wait,
Okay.
what?
An IKEA. Okay. Did you get a links or no?
No. It comes with an Ursa Rover. I'm good with that.
You're good with that? Okay. What about you, Kalrati?
Nah, but I will drive someone's though.
You'll drive someone's.
and lock them.
Yes, did you see his word?
I'm just
I will drive.
I got
I'm just picturing Kalrati in a driving Miss Daisy scenario now.
I see Kalrati isn't stealing somebody's now is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, right.
I will drive.
That's what he means by driving someone's. Yeah.
Drive
Drive someone's off the lot is what he means.
Not fancy enough. I'm not getting these test questions right to fit in that links. That's what.
All right, gang. We're going to close it out here on the 3, on the 2, and the 1. Kalrati, why don't you give us the count this time? Exclamation point links if you want to squeeze in there real quick. Go ahead.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Whoa, Zombie Pig. Zombie Pig. Zombie Pig just won something. Yeah, did he just win something?
He won last week.
Well, you know what? We're not going to disqualify him because we didn't. Unless he wants to, if he needs one, he can have it. It's up to him. But Zombie Pig, congratulations, man.
Congrats, man.
Subscriber, you know.
Congratulations.
Not NE. What does that mean?
He says what?
Who?
He said not NE. Zombie Pig. I don't think I won. Oh yeah, you said I don't think I won anything. Okay.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought he did.
I guess he won.
Zombie
Yeah.
Pig is from Yo-Yo Matt's community or Yo-Yo Meg.
Oh yeah, Zombie Pig's all
Yo-Yo
over the
Meg's
place.
community, I
Yeah,
think.
he's all over the place.
He was in he didn't win anything. He was there when we were streaming a couple nights ago, Griff. That's what
Oh, that's
his
what it
name
was.
is.
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Welcome back, Zombie Pig. Congratulations, dude.
Congrats, man. All right, Zombie Pig, you know the routine.
Ironic, you're a little bit late.
You know
you already declared the winner.
Yep, you know the routine, Zombie Pig. soulcitizens@gmail.com with your RSI email address, and we'll get that out to you along with the paints for the links. So congratulations. Okay.
Nice.
Very good. You guys are doing all right here. All righty.
And by the way, we do have one question, but we can start the giveaway first.
No. Go ahead for the last one. Let's do the question before we do the storm, because the storm is the last one. So we'll do that one. Go ahead and do your question.
So we got a question from Kavion. Any ideas why Squadron 42 is missing this sale? And we got an answer to that today at around noon from Xylo. He said that it's been taken off the page on purpose, but it's because they're going to do a price hike. And all the stuff, all the rumors about the German law and everything like that, they didn't have anything to do with that. It was just because it's coming with a price hike. It used to be 45 solo. Yeah, I'm guessing going to go up to 50 or 55 or 60. Probably 50, my guess.
Can I read?
But yeah,
is that okay?
What?
Can I read the exact response from Xylo?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It says Squadron 42 has been removed from the store at its current price, but will return at a later time. This change is not meant to signify anything other than an expected price change.
So yeah, like I said, it used to be 45. I'm guessing go up to 50. That's my guy.
Here comes the theory hackers. They come right now. They can go ahead and make a bunch of mess.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the price is going to be. I know what they said it was going to be, but this has been 10 years, Jack. Yep. And the way game prices are right now are $59, and some of them are even $69, even $69. Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir. Some games are even $69. So part of the whole motivation behind this was to get in on this early so that later on you wouldn't be paying full retail. So for folks who got in, you're in. You know,
already bought my packages.
Yeah.
Or if you just become concierge, you get both games for free.
Yeah.
Quote unquote free.
Yep. All right, gang.
You can't buy it back either, too. I don't think you're allowed to.
If it's in your buyback, I don't know.
I don't think you can.
I don't know.
I have a Squadron 42 in my buyback, and I think right now it's like deactivated.
What do you mean not anymore, Jade?
She just said not anymore. The same thing Abdi was saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a cutoff.
There was a cutoff.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. All right, gang, exclamation point storm, exclamation point storm. If you are interested in a storm, this is once again going to be Warbond, LTI'd with the concierge additional paint that you can get. All these were done. All these were purchased concierge. Yeah, they're all purchased concierge. So you get the Warbond LTI stuff. Don't start, Kalrati. Don't start.
By the way,
All right,
people
please.
who are typing !storm and YouTube, it's Twitch only. I'm
Yes,
afraid.
I apologize to our YouTube family. So sorry. We can only do
or Kick family too.
Yeah, we can only do the giveaway. We're working on being able to get it so that it goes across all 3 platforms. And I'm so sorry we couldn't do that, but we only are able to do just the one platform right now.
And we got a message on Kick from Rolex8224 said, "What is this? We're Soul Citizens. We're a podcast. We talk about the event, the Invictus week, last week. So
And
that's what we got.
we talk about the game Star Citizen. So that's what this is.
Talk about the game Star Citizen too.
All right, looks like we've got everybody in, just about. This is going to be our final big one for the night, a storm. And Kelosal will throw this one on you. Can you give us the count?
And in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The winner is.
Whoa, Shimpasta.
Oh,
Shimpasta.
Nice.
Congratulations, Shimpasta. All right, Shimpasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shimpasta.
There
He says, what the? All right, Shimpasta, you've been around long enough to know what the routine is here. Send it to soulcitizens@gmail.com or DM us at Soul Citizens on Twitch, and we will get that out to you as well. Congratulations to all of our winners of a Fury, a Lynx, and a Storm tonight.
Congratulations.
Thank you for that, Griffin. I want to, and I want to thank all the co-hosts here, Kelosal, Kalrati, maybe not Kalrati, Abdi, and Griffin for handing the check
He's gonna find
behind.
you in Pyro.
Hey, I'm gonna target him in his BMM, man.
See, that's why.
Juicy.
So I hope everybody had fun watching us. So thank you everyone for subscribing and following today. And I hope congratulations to all the winners. We're selling merchandise. You want to help support us? We sell t-shirts and everything you see on the screen. So you click the link below and help support us. Appreciate it. So yeah, hold on. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what we're going to talk about next week. Oh, Griffin, what are we talking about next week?
Well, I mean, we got to go through the other shows first. Go ahead.
All right, so Abdi, you want to talk about Soul Talk?
Soul Talk. Soul Talk is it's basically stand up at the Apollo for fastcart. He gets to tell as many jokes as he wants, and you can't stop him. I'm just kidding.
Unstoppable.
I will let me run that back. So Soul Talk is hosted by fastcart and is an opportunity for everybody to come on and be a part of the show. So we talk about the news of the week from Star Citizen, be it on Spectrum or ISC. We look at Machinima as well. And yeah, it's just a great time. So join up on the Discord, the Soul Citizens Discord, and yeah, jump into VoiceCom and be a part of the fun.
Yeah, and especially I want to emphasize that we love to hear from new people. We have our core group that come weekly, and we appreciate them. But we do want more people to come in to make it more diverse. Put it that way. So I think thank you for that.
Ooh, Isle Spartan. Thank
Isle
you.
Spartan, thanks for the subs.
Thank
you.
you.
Gracious. Thank you.
Thank you. Kalrati, you want to talk about Soul Voices, please?
Yeah. So Soul Voices Saturday. Oh, starts.
If you break it up for anyone else,
He's bringing up for me.
Oh,
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Okay.
That's
You'll break
better.
it up.
Yeah. Yep. You were
All right,
clipping.
all right. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. So, Soul Voices, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Where we talk about all things across the community, Spectrum, Reddit, you name it. Talk about all things. And we invite you to join, be part of all Soul Voices. Yeah.
Whoa.
I have so many jokes, bad jokes I can make right now, but I'm going to try to be good. Anyway, so that is Soul Voices. Thank you for that. 3 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UTC. Now, Griffin, next week, please.
Oh, next Saturday, or next Sunday, rather. I'm sorry. We are going to be doing our review, just like we did this week. We did our review of Invictus. We're going to be doing our review of Update 3.19. talk about all the new features that have been added, new mechanics that have been added, new cool stuff that's been added. And we are excited for this patch because we left 3.18. So we are happy to be in 3.19. And we're going to have a fun time with that next week. So hopefully you guys will be able to join us for that. That's next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Thank you for that, Griffin. And I think that's it for this week and show. I'm gonna make sure I already put a raid target in the Discord, but let me make sure that person is still streaming.
Yes, that would be good to do.
Yep, they're still streaming. So I put it in priority for streaming for the raid.
Okay. I've already got it set up. I'm just waiting on you to finish talking.
You already got it. Oh, okay. So thank you for that. All right. So thank everybody for watching. My bad.
It's okay.
And thank everybody for interaction. Got to get to all the winners.
Well, wait a minute. Somebody's hitting us with a whole lot of subs here. Who's hitting us with those subs? Malkiri, thank you so much for those subs.
Thank you. All right. So, yeah. I've seen everybody all love. So, peace, love, and so everybody. Take care.
Go Misk.
See everyone.
See you guys.
Go Misk.
Oh my God. More subs.